There is no hood like parenthood. Hi, I'm Kanika Chadda Gupta. I'm a former CNN journalist, mom of 3, including twins, and host of That's Total Mom Sense, the podcast. Now, if I had $1 every time I heard, gee, you have your hands full. On my show, I interview change makers on their life lessons, legacy, and superpower of intuition, which I call our mom sense and dad sense. I've had the privilege of working with Mom 2.0, March of Dimes, and the White House, and have had some pretty amazing parents on my show.
Hey, what's up? I'm Kelly Rowland.
Hi, this is Chelsea Clinton.
It's me, Bobby Brown. Can't wait to share my story.
That's Total Mom Sense is a production of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube so you never miss an episode. To join my tribe, visit that'stotalmomsense.com and follow me on Instagram at Kanika Chadda Gupta. Now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to Food for Thought, a special podcast series on That's Total Mom Sense, presented by First Water by Akvile, mineral-rich Nordic spring water made for new moms and babies. I'm your host, Kanika Chadda Gupta, journalist and mom of 3, including twins. In this series, we're speaking with doctors, experts, and healers who are helping us reclaim our kitchens as places of nourishment, empowerment, and joy. We'll be answering your questions around what should you buy organic, tonics to help you cleanse your system in the morning, spices you should use on the regular, what to eat when you're traveling and on the go, what to eat in your 20s versus menopause, specialized teas to perk you up and wind you down, and must-haves in your kitchen. This is Food for Thought. Bon appetit! To celebrate Breastfeeding Awareness Month, and with this summer heat, this episode is brought to you by First Water by Akvile, the first naturally mineral-rich, never-filtered bottled water in the U.S. that's certified safe for infants under 6 months when mixed with formula. Founded by a mom of 3, Aiste Minute, First Water follows European postpartum practices where nursing water is essential. As many new moms know, breastfeeding uses up to 25% of the body's energy, and staying hydrated is critical. But most bottled waters are filtered or purified, stripping away the very electrolytes and minerals your body needs to recover and thrive. First Water is different. Sourced from a unique spring, it retains its natural magnesium, calcium, and electrolytes, has a natural pH of 8, and contains absolutely 0 nitrates or nitrites. That means it supports faster hydration, better oxygen absorption, digestion, and overall wellness for moms, babies, and the entire family. Whether you're mixing formula, nursing around the clock, or simply looking for cleaner hydration, First Water is setting a new gold standard in maternal and infant wellness in the U.S. Learn more at getfirstwater.com. That's spelled get, the number 1, ST, water.com. Because your baby's first water should be the best. Hi everyone, it's Kanika Chadda Gupta, founder and host of That's Total Mom Sense podcast. As you all know, I began my career as a journalist and I love live tapings. And so today we're here at the idyllic space OASES in New York City. And I'm joined by 2 phenomenal women. Sonam Sangmo is the partner and creative director of OASES. And Radhika Batra Shah is the founder of Radhika's Fine Teas and Whatnots and is India's most prominent tea sommelier. Today, we're going to get into 2 things that I'm very, very passionate about. 1, conversations. 2, chai. We're going to do a little myth busting because we've noticed some cultural appropriation happening around a lot of things and traditions from the East. And you can see it in Prada's Kolhapuri chappals and everything being Ayurveda and chai tea, which is redundant. So now we're going to talk about the origins of a lot of these Southeast Asian traditions, be it chai and well-being and yoga, ayurveda, meditation, because it's something that's so inherent to our roots and we're really, really proud of. So Sonam, I'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about you and how you grew up.
Well, first of all, Kanika, thank you so much for putting this together. Well, my DNA is Tibetan. I was born and bred in India, so I lived in Dharamsala. This is in Himachal Pradesh, up in North India. However, my boarding school was situated in Mussoorie. So I went, I'd like to say I was shipped away at the tender age of 6.
Oh my goodness.
And I finished my boarding school in my 12th standard. And right after I moved to United States. Yeah, so that was the journey.
Oh, wow.
At least.
Yes.
So what was interesting for me in India when my upbringing and my childhood happened for me there, it was spiritually, I come from a Buddhist, family. However, my school was a British Christian boarding school. However, you had a lot of students from all over, not just Asia, but in India too. So it was in boarding school I got to, I would very much or very modestly like to say, I got to learn different religions there too.
Yes.
And I learned how to respect different cultures as well. So just think about growing up with your brothers and sisters for 12 long years, and they come from all different caste and creed. And so that was pretty much my upbringing. So New York just feels like home because that's how, I was brought up as well. But so everything's been good so far. That's been my childhood.
That's wonderful. And New York City is the ultimate melting pot and cultural hub. And I'm glad that you've created an oasis for New Yorkers. It's so great. And I know you and I have connected on living in India. And it's something that you can't take, for me, it's Bombay. You can't take the Bombay out of the girl at all. I love that. And speaking of Bombay, Radhika is from there, and she's come especially to New York City to hold many different demonstrations and classes so we can learn more about where chai truly comes from and respect its origins. Tell us about your upbringing.
Okay. So thank you, Kanika and Sonam, for this lovely moment in our life, because my family is witnessing this as well, and some very good friends from the industry. So my journey began in Bombay, born and brought up there. And I had a very diverse experience growing up, and I think that was a mirror of the tea ceremonies that were going to be the future of storytelling, rooted in tradition and culture, of being in Bombay but still grounded. So my father was a captain in the Merchant Navy, the Indian company, and he went to all the exotic locations. I'm a 90s kid. There was no internet. So I think I was in a portal between East and West, where Dad came back with amazing rare teas, teaware to brew them. And on the other hand was my mom from the north of India, which was known for its culinary skills, where the biryanis of the world came from. And she had this unique ada. In English, means the translation of ada means the way of speaking with respect, slowly, and every moment is internalized. So I used to watch her make tea with a lot of patience, and that's where I realized that the leaves need to breathe. It doesn't have to be fast. It is a ritual. And I think all of that layered with my granddad, who was a partition kid, who every night had storytelling about how he came from a place where he had it all and then it was taken away. So I think I am grounded in a very brisk cup of tea because I have this whole family who faced so much and stood out. And I think that has been my journey, where I, to date, try to, take it all from what I learned from my people at home.
Wow. Yeah, and that's also something that I can relate to. I think that when we are kind of uprooted from our homes, you really crave to make your new surroundings home. And we've all had that. You being from Tibet too. It's something so special that we share. Now, tell us about the inspiration behind OASES, because it's a sight to see. I'm excited for those who are tuning in to this podcast. When you come to New York, you have to make a stop here. What kind of inspired you to design it the way you have, so intentionally, so mindfully?
So it's been a while. I would say it first came to me in 2023, and the main investor, initially, he came to me with a task, and he goes, "Well, the city needs an oasis," and then we brainstormed a little. I would say the first idea was just about how about let's create a cute little cafe that feels like an oasis. And then obviously I took it, and also my background is in fashion. I have been trained as an artist and as a fashion designer to always design a collection. So it's not just a cafe. So then what does one do, right? You do your research first. Then I traveled to Japan to understand matcha and the culture behind matcha and why matcha is now so big in the West. And in doing so, I was also introduced to sake. And in Korea, I met with this wonderful Buddhist philosopher, chef nun, Sunim. And she cooks with a lot of good intention. And then in Paris, I wanted to try and understand the cafe scene. So no matter where you were traveling, whether it was Italy or even Nepal or India, I'd gone to India too, you just, you always go back to your true roots. And it's almost like you seek out trying to look for the truth or some inspiration, whereas it's all in you. And I had to take that journey to find that everything that I was searching for, it's something that I've always had. So I created a mood board. We set up amazing products. And because it was backed with a lot of research, I felt very confident. And it just so happened that I feel like now we're being labeled as a wellness place, but I don't see it as a wellness. I just see it as a state of well-being where you have good ingredients, good products. It's made with good intention, because I believe in karma, and you serve it with good intention as well. And most importantly, when I was a young girl, it's been many ages now, but on the foothills of the Himalayan mountains, when I was in 10th grade, I was I knew what my purpose in life was, and it was to use myself up in a way where it can help benefit society. And how does one do that? You create good products, and then you do it with good intention, and you do it mindfully, which is where my spirituality kicks in. Because everywhere, my team members too, we all exercise one thing, which is anytime we receive any grains in back of the house, or even if it's any of our products, we cook with good intention, we serve it with good intention. We always try to tell ourselves we're serving friends and family here. And any product, whether you drink it, eat it, you apply it on your face, I feel like it should nourish either your body or your soul or whatever you want to call it. It'll be really good for the environment, the community, the neighborhood, and society in general. So that's always been my purpose. But going back to Oasis, yes, a place where just like an oasis, you have human beings. I like to call them human beings because sometimes we forget that we're human beings. Where we have people that would stop by to nourish themselves, if it's just over water, coffee, food, or we also have an event space. So it's a nice collection, when you think about it as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love how you treat all of your guests. It's just an adage we all live by. I'm forgetting the exact quote, but Mehman Bhagwan Jaise hote hain.
Yes.
It's like you're serving God anytime anyone walks into your home. And you're doing exactly that. Can you tell us a little bit about the architecture? Because, we'll show some B-roll of this, but there's the lotus flower and the meaning behind that, the shivling, the arches.
Yes. So even with the design too, I didn't intend to create a lot of arches. I think once again, when you're honest, out of honesty and creativity, I feel like if you're a creative person, you have to be honest.
Yeah.
When I take a look at the space, I don't personally like sharp edges, and I feel like the city is very sharp and rigid. So I like it when it's seamless and ideas can just bounce off of each other. And just a space where you feel cozy, welcomed and most importantly safe.
Yeah.
And when I look at the finished product, there's a lot of arches. I do have the lotus. Oasis lotus, and it's in the shape of a lotus flower. Lotus, spiritually, of course, in India, but even in Tibetan Buddhism, it's, they say lotuses only bloom in dirty and muddy water.
Right.
Yet it's so pure and speckless, right? And it's just to remind everyone that we're all innately pure and we all have compassion regardless of our journey. And at least while you're here and when you take a look at the lotus, it's a nice friendly reminder. But when you take a look at the shape, it has the shape of a shivling. It has, we have the white marble on top because it's the male and the female energy coming together. So everything's been very intentionally designed, but it's all for, to create positivity.
Yes, and it really shines through. I think that, not everyone thinks about the meaning behind why they went with a certain design concept. And here it's so rooted in tradition, which is just really like mind-blowing when you see it. It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
And Radhika, if you can tell us about the origins of tea and how it became so popularized, and why you're having us return to the farms and all things truly organic that many people who are just ordering their quick cup have no idea about.
So I think I have had so many aha moments through this journey of over 2 decades that they've been such mindful sip awakenings, I want to call them, because going back to origin, here is an MBA from India, and typically the 90s, 2000 kids were very tunnel vision. Okay, got a great percentage, let's take commerce or science. And then there is somebody who is, bursting with creative energy and doesn't want to show that to India because you have to be very, very, into doing what you're meant to do according to the society.
Correct. Yeah.
And having done an MBA, worked in the corporate world with 2 leading guys like McCann Erickson in advertising and the Tatas, here I was who one day left it all for the love of chai. And people kind of poked fun then. This is 2003. I'm in my 20s, and they're like, you're leaving all this for hot water? And I was like, no, maybe I want to take my little baby to the park. I don't know. And there is a vision. You don't want to share it because you're so sure that it's going to happen, but let people see it. So here I am, who goes into the most forbidden plantations of the world with Shloka, who's a toddler. And because I don't want to leave my baby behind, I have to balance that world as well. With being a new mom, you want to do justice to both. You would know how it is.
Yes,
you have 3.
Completely.
So we go into the gardens of Sri Lanka, China, India. We don't speak the same language, but we have a common intention and purpose and the passion for the leaf.
Yeah.
You see, and like she rightfully says, if you have those energies and intentions, it always falls in place. And it's magical. You don't know, but maybe you were making a lotus, but 3 other elements came into place.
Yeah.
So that's how it went for me. I come back into Bombay, and now how do we get this place? And suddenly, I have this beautiful place in Tony, Bombay, which is just like New York. It's crowded, and you want to be in a place where giving calm and serenity about the purpose of the leaf. So I have my store in place. I have teas from around the world. Now, how do I tell this story to Bombay in 2006 with India's first organic chai boutique, where people only want to drink tea, chai?
Yeah.
And here I have China, Sri Lanka, India, and not one tea, but leaves
Many
from...
varieties.
Yeah. So imagine white, green, oolong, black. Then add to them all the kinds of blends. So then suddenly I realized that India doesn't have its tea ceremony. China has their ceremony, Japan has their ceremony. What about India? And that's where the whole philosophy of Radhika's Fine Teas was established. Again, it just happened that I am going to tell my story about the Indian way of tea, the art of tea, in my way, which has to be interactive because Indians love to talk. About their roots, about their tradition, and that's what I'm going to do. So we were totally rooted in this philosophy of telling the tale via the tea ceremony, and that's how we pioneered it in 2006. So the store is set, people enter, they look at this whole thing of leaves all around. We have, the equipment, I'm doing my ceremonies, but we didn't label it.
Okay.
Press comes in and starts talking about it, and there we are all over. People are lining up, and it's just a 200 square feet store.
Wow.
And one fine day, we have somebody from a very leading restaurant and a hotel setting up an organic restaurant. And organic is not a buzzword then, you see. This is 2006.
Yes.
They mean it.
Yeah.
And that's how we get introduced to the world of F&B and culinary. We have a chef and sous chef coming from Italy, again, disguised customers. And they're going through the whole, ritual, etc. And they said, Radhika, we want you to come and train 20 chefs from around the world.
Wow.
So here I am with little shloka, my basket of leaves, and my team is just setting up the young people who don't understand tea, but so I drive in and I go in and I set up and I train these 20 people who are apparently Michelin stars of today.
Yes.
And that's when I realized, wow, this is another way of promoting tea to the world, where I'm doing my tea etiquette trainings, tea experiences, high teas. So from the origin of plantation fresh teas with the leading gardens of the world, today we are an experience. We give it all and we customize it from trainings. We also have blends, which are again rooted into a benefit, a purpose. So our mission is that every menu in Radhika's Fine Tea Story has to have a purpose. And that is to give you a benefit, gut health, hormonal balance, calm, de-stress. And these are not gimmicky words, but we mean it. And these were things that we used even before COVID.
Yeah.
So when the world today is shouting out turmeric and ginger and its abundance, we were already doing that in 2013.
Yes.
So, those are the aha moments which have happened from then to now.
That is so cool. Yeah. And you have to show off your tat because it's so awesome. Chai Wali.
Oh, yeah.
So she is the resident chai wali. She knows her chai inside and out. Back to school season is here, which means it's time to label everything. From water bottles to jackets, Name Bubbles makes it easy to keep track of your child's belongings with durable, dishwasher-safe, and laundry-safe labels. My 3 kiddos love choosing their own designs. Think unicorns and dinosaurs and more. And there are packs for daycare, school, sports, and even college. New this season, the custom clothing stamp. It's a quick, no-sew, no-iron solution that works on everything from onesies to swimsuits and lasts for over 40 washes. It's kid-safe, customizable, and even comes with refill kits for long-term use. Name Bubbles is mom-owned and proudly made in the USA, helping families stay organized for over 15 years. Check out my podcast interview with the founder, Michelle Brandress, from the archives. Visit namebubbles.com and use code MOMSENSE15 to receive 15% off your order. Happy labeling! Tell us a little bit about the blends and the varieties, why we use them, their benefits, and how we should prepare them. I know we're going to get more of a demo later with like cold brews, but yeah, just for those who are tuning in, like why a green versus a black tea, when do you drink it, that kind of thing.
Okay. So the menu runs as tea for each part of the day in our story. That is to tell you that there is tea for every part of the day, for everybody and for every purpose, which means that you as an individual should not get very besotted and influenced by if the world says, okay, have a green tea and you're going to become thin. Or have white tea and, you're going to become young. It's anti-aging.
Right.
So every leaf is meant for a certain individual. So the best way to do that is to test it on your palate. And then you taste it. So what I mean by that, nothing complicated. Your kitchen is your treasure trove. Get a few leaves, the whole leaves particularly, not the tea bags, okay? And it's as simple as a little child doing it. Like my daughter has been brewing since she was 4. Wow. So you can imagine how easy it is. It's not complicated. You don't need thermometers and gadgets. Just take your cup and saucer. Take a leaf that when you whiff, it feels nice. It's all about the senses. So when you look at it, when you whiff it, it appeals to you, so that's your leaf. Now the true test is of the palate. Put a pinch with your fingers and into the cup, pour water after the bubbles come. Never kill the leaf.
Okay.
Water is tea's best friend. Okay. So if you remember that, everything falls well after that. So pour the water after the bubbles come. And I'm talking about any leaf. The leaf starts with white, goes to green, then oolong, and then black. And then we talk about the umpteen blends which come later. But this is typically how the processing of the plant which is plucked gives us our teas. After you've poured water, you cover it for a few minutes. Again, I'm not going to tell you 2 to 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. I don't want it that way. I want you to whiff it again and feel it sensory. So you open the lid. Okay. Why do we cover? For the flavors to assimilate. It's like the typical traditional way of cooking. If you notice, when we cook in India, on the stove, on the gas, on the burner, we cover things. So the flavors assimilate, they start cooking well.
Yes.
Right? So you remove the lid after, say, a minute or two, and you whiff it. And if you feel that's the taste that your palate and your gut is going to like, you sieve it or strain it with whatever you have at home, or even you might have a French press to make life easy, or you might have a strainer. And then you sip it. Forget your manners, I want your gullet to feel it. So you make the loudest noise because that's where the air passes through and your mouth feels. So it has to be a mouthful, typically like you have probably gone for wine tastings.
Yes.
And the permutation and combination of tea, wine, whiskey is very similar in terms of the nuances and the notes. And that's it, it's so easy. So you're a sommelier. You're just a sommelier. When I started with the gardens, I mentored with all the leading gardens of the world. In those days, there were no tea schools. There was one I knew in Canada, too far to come with a toddler. So I went like a chef goes, right to the roots. And I learned it with the gardens. So there's Mr. Bansal, who is the father of revolutionizing the whole organic concept around Darjeeling leaves, and he gave us our GI tags, etc. So he says over a call, Radhika, I never sell in India, but you're the one I'm going with. So I want you to go to your kitchen. I'm sending 5 types of leaves. Women are the best judge of taste and characters of the tea. If you get this right, you're rolling. And that's how, it was so easy. So what I'm trying to say, it's not complicated. The leaf can be brewed the way you want. And it's not an old man's drink, okay? When I started, people said, oh, it's just an old man's drink. I said, no, it can get into mixology, which we do with all the leading bars of the world. You can infuse it into food. You can pair it with food. So you see, it's as easy and as simple.
Yes, that's amazing. That's amazing. I love how you said it's sensorial. And this actually reminds me of kids, because they want to use all their senses when they're eating. They are picking up the foods, they're smelling it, it's all of it. They're looking at it, hearing the crunch, hearing the sip. And so I think, as adults, we should return back to that. That's what mindful eating is. And I think as we continue to lead our lives as human beings, breathing, living things on this planet, I think it's so important for us to know what happens after and be prepared for what happens after. And this is something that you grew up with. So tell us how that's left kind of an indelible imprint in your life, and how we can also easily incorporate that mindfulness, that meditation into our hustle bustle of our lives.
Just a disclaimer, I'm a student myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Forever student.
I'm forever a student. I've been very blessed to be born in the family that I come from in this life. I wasn't very spiritual growing up. But it wasn't until I moved to United States, and it's just, I've always been extremely ambitious. So it's always, I want to get into FIT, check. I want to get into Central St. Martin's, check. I want to get into Ralph's, check.
Wow.
And it's check after check, and then you realize, well, that's it, that's life. And I actually hit, they say you hit a midlife crisis. I hit it in my early 20s. And then I just realized, well, I looked at some of the people that, I would say in a capitalist country would regard as a hero. And I just remember thinking, that's not what I set out for.
Right.
But
They don't
just
seem happy.
yeah. But remember, I'm also someone from the mountains, right? So I've never. It's pretty much it's like growing up in your own ivory tower, and you think that the world outside of these Himalayan mountains, especially if you go to the United States, it's something very great for you over there, and you just one after the other. And I just remember thinking, it's a choice. This is not. So that's when I, started doing my own research, for me, I live on very, very simple terms. The only constant thing is change. So, so it's impermanence. That's the only constant thing.
yeah.
And I believe in karma. So it's genuinely very painful for me. I never imagined that I would even end up running a cafe or a restaurant. But and I used to be a vegetarian before. So the fact that we serve chicken, we serve, seafood and what have you. And I don't make the call. So it really does eat away in my conscience. However, you can't really justify that, but what I tell myself is, well, I hope this is for a better purpose. So that's why I tell all of my chefs, when you receive not just fish or meat, even grains, be grateful for that, because farmers have worked really hard for it. And when you're cooking it, I don't want any yelling in my kitchen, because I don't know how other kitchens are, but at least in Oasis kitchen, there's no yelling. Everyone needs to be treated with kindness. And then when you serve, you genuinely have to like the person you're serving. Yes. And that's why a lot of our customers too, now they're pretty much like family. We have a lot of them that are pretty much like family. But it goes back to, you do need to respect. Once you start thinking that, or at least training your mind into thinking that the others are also human beings, then you'll have more respect. You know, we normally tend to treat our inner circle with a lot of respect and love, right? So it's nice when you can kind of slowly try and extend that. And we try to pretty much exercise that at Oasis here. And I think spirituality for me is, just trying to have a little compassion.
Yes.
Yeah. And once you're here, you just have to sense it. And it's when you're breathing, how you talk, the respect that you have for one another. Yeah, sometimes, you don't have to... how do I say, define it with very elaborate words. Sometimes you just got to come in, and when people say, I feel at peace here, it's because when everything is aligned, that's when you feel it.
Yes, absolutely. I wanted to share how just yesterday I took my 3 little ones to a play. It was Lion King, and a lot of high schoolers had put it on. And there was this really profound moment where, the young boy playing Mufasa was speaking to Simba, and Simba said, we actually, the fact that you want to take care of this pride and you care about all the animals here, but Dad, we eat the antelope. And then Mufasa said, yes, son, we do eat the antelope. However, when it's our time, and our sun has set and our time to go, we turn to ash, get back into the grass, and the antelopes eat the grass. So it is this circle of life. I was like singing along with the chorus, and that's how I feel like we should think about it anytime, whatever we end up eating. It's all a circle. It all comes back around, like karma, like how the universe turns, everything. Do you have a meditation practice or mindfulness practice that you use? It could be journaling, it could be your time of silence, whatever.
I actually do it every morning. The first thing, one of my Buddhist master teachers, I told you I have several.
You're lucky to have so many. You have the access.
But a very recent one taught me a very simplified version. So when I wake up, I do a very short meditation, nothing too intricate, and I do some breathing exercise.
Nice.
And then I start my day by thinking positive. And then he's also told me over and over again, when you step out, just think about, okay, today I'm going to do something positive for others, not for yourself.
Yes.
But also when people think about being altruistic, they think, I hear some people go, oh, but what about me? Of course, you have to take care of yourself, right? You have to take care of yourself first, and then only you can take care of others. But there's also so much of power in wanting good for others. And for me, I believe everything is a reflection, it's a projection of who you are.
Yeah.
So if everything's beautiful outside, you're going to enjoy it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that it's just very simple.
Yes. The world actually isn't transactional. And when you think the what about me, if you're taking care of everyone else, the universe is taking care of you. So it comes back. And Radhika, now tell us about some of the fun, I feel like, tea hacks that we should know, because growing up as a desi, I'm always making my chai every morning. I feel like I've learned one thing: I put a wooden spoon on top to not let it spill over. But the fact that we add a lot of milk to it, and I'm always spilling whenever I'm using that chutney. I always spill onto the counter. So is there something that you've learned, it's like tested, that do it this way, there's an art to it?
I mean, I'm so hypnotized right now with all the talks on karma and the way of life.
Yes.
Because that's where the ethos of tea is. Tea is a leaf or a plant which is born with the script of wellness and well-being, all intertwined. And if you give it that respect, like you say, it comes back to benefit your mind, body, and soul. And that's why I think we three connected the last time we met, because it's all these principles of life. And maybe one of you should explain karma to our audience, because not everybody understands it internationally.
You do it,
But let's end it with that maybe.
Yeah.
But coming back to tea hacks and tea tricks, very simple ones. Keeping in mind the ethos that the leaf has to benefit. The alchemy of tea is so beautiful. Imagine women waking up, and this is again this beautiful ritual you all spoke about. And I thought I was in a hurry to explain because we were short of time, but just carrying forward from that. Imagine women waking up before sunrise in these Himalayan mountains where the Brahmaputra river flows by. And they're plucking 2 leaves and a bud on a basket. And they do this world over in all the leading plantations of the world. There are 3 leading producing manufacturers, biggest manufacturers: China, India, and Japan. Sri Lanka, of course, so say 3 to 4, but the maximum ones. And these people work hard every morning to give you the leaf which you sip. So remember that circle, that you owe it to them, 1. 2, when you brew the tea, remember, water is tea's best friend. So never let those boiling bubbles destroy the leaf.
Okay.
Okay, that is a whole leaf. But when you're making chai, that's a separate recipe by itself, and you can look it up, Radhika's Fine Tea's website. But to put it in a quick way, when you brew chai, typically in all the restaurants, the matcha wave is running, and US market is still very young to the chai wave. They're only serving, sadly, sweet, syrupy concentrates, which do injustice to the body, because like I was saying, the alchemy of tea is so beautiful. It has the highest amount of vitamin C, 1. 2, it's got minerals that help your dental care and fluoride. So in the morning, first thing when I wake up, I sip my tea and then I brush, because I want all that to hit my dental and my cavity, and the fluoride helps. And my dentist loves me for that. 3, it's so soothing on the gut if you brew it right. So Radhika's Fine Tea's branding always has it, just brew it right.
Yeah.
Because if you don't brew it right, you might buy the most expensive leaf and all those gimmicky teas, panda poop tea and whatever, or the matchas of the world. But if you're brewing it wrong, no benefit.
No benefit.
Because like I said, the alchemy is so beautiful. And it's poetic by itself. Then the other hack is that you don't overboil. So suppose I'm taking tea onto the gas, and I'm only talking about making chai right now. So you take a cup of water, put it onto the gas on simmer, add the chai leaf, which is basically coming from Assam. You should know the origin of your leaf, just to know where is it coming from. You put a spoon of the leaf measured for 1 person. Now, if it's morning and it's summer, put your favorite herbs.
Yeah.
Could be mint, could be lemongrass. If it's winter, put more of the spices like cinnamon and clove and cardamom, if the tea doesn't come as a blend.
Right.
What you're doing here is typically what our grandmoms told us, working for your body, working for all the antioxidant the leaf gives you. In India, we work on seasonal eating, seasonal produce. We would not eat cauliflower in summer. We would eat it in the winter, and that's how we've grown. So you see, tea also has those. It's the first flush or the first harvest coming into your system. So all of that. Okay, now, so your tea is being made, it's on simmer, you put your favorite herbs, and then, or the spices, and then you add milk last on simmer. Just a dash.
Okay.
Not like that one on, what do you call that? Your cream milk, what do you call that?
Half and half?
Half and half. Yeah.
So a dash of that on simmer again, and keep stirring it gently.
Okay.
And enjoy that play with your favorite music, and like you said, the food with intention. Tea
Yes.
also made with intention. That's how mom made it. You're breathing. The leaves are breathing. After all that is done, 3 boils, one with the water, one with the tea and the herbs, and the third with the milk.
Okay.
Shut the gas and cover it. Chai is ready. Takes only 10 minutes.
That's the biggest hack, is to cover it. I always leave it open. Oh my gosh.
So you cover it because all those guys who are in that need to kind
Steep.
of come together.
Yeah,
Steep.
yeah.
And assimilate is the word. And then strain it. Okay. That's chai.
That's amazing. That's
By the
amazing.
way,
Yes.
another hack, you could use leaves of the day into your salads.
Yes.
We do amazing Burmese salad with the long leaves, green, the laushans and the longjans of the world. And we make these amazing salads with fish oil and the peanuts and the coconut. You could also infuse into your oolong tea into your casseroles, meats, cottage cheese. And the best trick for women and men is that you could infuse the muslin bowls, little balls, put it in the freezer, or take the ice cubes out of the used infusion of the day and just rub it on your face. So you don't need to use any of the anti-aging creams,
Yes,
So
yeah,
lots of
instant
tricks.
pick me up.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to your question about karma. You kick it off. What does karma mean to you?
It's as simple as, living your daily life with true intentions and not messing up. If you're an honest person going your path and you don't mean ill for anybody, I feel life is well lived. Because I think I have come to midlife and I've seen it all, and I've seen a lot of challenges, and I've seen that. I think for me, karma is instant. I don't believe in coming back, and as a lot of people say, you'll be born
Like a
this way. Yeah,
reincarnation.
I'm
Yeah.
a convent kid, so I believe that if you do good now, you get good. If you
Yes.
don't, well, there are some challenges, and you face it. So
Yes.
that is karma for me. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I believe that as well. And I do think that, you can change your destiny. I feel like sometimes, my kids ask, why do bad things happen to good people?
Yeah.
And then that's where I give karma as my unequivocal answer. But then you can do better with the cards that you're dealt, and make sure that you leave a ripple effect to those around you. So that's something that actively we can do in this lifetime, which I really believe. Okay, I want to open it up to the crowd, our lovely audience who's joining us today. Does anyone have any questions for our guests? We can pass the mic. Shloka? What's your favorite tea?
Tea. I like the one that we carry at OASES, our green tea at OASES, because we haven't tasted Radhika's
Yeah.
yet, so yeah.
Nice. And you, Radhika?
So I'm very partial to chai, as you know, and my ritual to wake up is to get a clean cup of good chai infused with a little jaggery. And for the rest of the day, for hormone balance, I drink my white tea from Darjeeling.
Nice.
So that keeps me sane, and it just manages the rhythm of the nerves.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I love my chai. I feel like that's, more than coffee, that's my fuel. But I like changing it up, like you said, whether it's ginger or saunf, fennel seeds, or rose petals. That way the notes come differently, and I get to enjoy a different cup every season.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Any other questions?
So I think OASES is a great space, the way you described it about spirituality and your personal passion. I think when an entrepreneur and a founder brings his personal or her personal focus into something she actually believes in, I think then there's no stopping the
Yeah.
success for that. So I think what you're doing at OASES is a brilliant culmination of spiritualism, of great products, of quality service. I see only friendly faces when we come and visit your cafe. So I think it's a great combination, and this conversation about tea and spirituality, I think is a great way to kind of share with the wider folks about how a kind of bonding of good things can really build a lot of value for people. So I think that's a comment that I wanted to share.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to add that it was early this month, we started offering meditation classes for the Chelsea community, but it's open to everyone. And this is for free. It's something I feel like at Oasis is the least I can offer to the community. And yeah, so we'll get seasoned, we'll get seasoned practitioners, people that have spent 30 plus years just in meditation and trying to understand the mind. I'm going to have them come in. The guru that I had come in, I literally had to tell him, he's a Rinpoche. I told him, Rinpoche, please think about kindergarten level. I said nothing about, because I believe he's in his late 60s or 70s right now, but he became a nun at the age of 10, so it's been many years. And I told him, please go very gentle and easy on us, just simple breathing exercise. And everyone who was here, they were simply blown away. Just even before he started giving any teachings, just by his mere presence. But it goes back to, he's been practicing being positive for such a long time that right now wherever he goes, whichever, he and we had 2 other monks, you just ooze out positivity. And people don't understand that until you are in a room when someone's like that. And it comes from, some just being very humble too. And I personally feel like you don't have to be a spiritual person to have that. I feel like teachers can have that. Mothers, I feel like mothers do have a tendency to have that. But teachers, social workers, So there are lots of wonderful people out there. So but this is something small that we're starting. And it's great. I'd like to share on your podcast as well. We're going to do it once a month.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
We'll be back. I think there's so much to talk about and authenticity to bring. I wanted to put Gail on the spot because you have a publication on tea. Tell the audience about your work.
Yes. I've been publishing in the tea space and only about tea for 22 years.
22
yes.
years.
So
Incredible.
everything each of you has said here today touches me so deeply because exactly the whole tea thing.
Yeah.
It just fills your soul, connects you with others in such a special way, and takes care of yourself too.
Yes.
You're taking care of yourself at the same time as you're taking care of someone else.
Right.
And you said something before, when you're so busy taking care of other people, it will come around, the universe is taking care of you. And I feel like tea does that for people. And I don't know, it's just been my whole life spent, not my whole life, all right, a long time in tea. And so I feel what you're saying, and it really is special for everything that each of you is doing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's really the ultimate elixir. Okay, now tell our audience who's tuning in for the show where they can find you and support you.
So it's a specialty tea company that I run. I started as the country's youngest sommelier, and then humbly the most celebrated, and so on and so forth. In 2013, it became Radhika's Fine Teas and Whatnots. The Whatnots is an extension of Teaware and Tea Experiences. And you can find us all over the social media. It's at the rate Radhika's Fine Teas. We are headquartered in Bombay, India, but we cater to the whole world. And we proudly have, standalone tea bars in the UAE as well, with leading hotels of the world. So yeah, you're gonna find me all over the place. Just reach out online. I'm always there. I'm a call away. Even if you don't need the leaf, but you need to understand the art of tea, I enjoy educating. And never call it chai tea. It's saying TT twice, so never do that. It hurts. So yeah, but USA has been lovely because somehow people have found me everywhere. We had a guard at Chelsea Market telling me, "Hey, you're the famous chai wali." So this tattoo means what I do. Chai wali, like chai walas in India, are the guys who in these little carts brew tea all day and serve the community and country at very reasonable prices. And our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, also started like that. Yes. So friends and family coined me as chai wali, the ministry did. And one fine day, my daughter, who's a budding film student, was going for her tattoo. And she said, "Mom, that's you. You need to get it." So, so if you don't find me, you just need to look at what this tattoo is unique.
You're the ultimate chai wali.
Yeah.
The one and only. I love it. And Sonam.
Yeah, so Oasis, spelt with an E. We're at the corner of 14th Street and 6th Avenue. we're always here. So please stop by when you can.
And Oasis is in Chelsea, and it's in the heart of the city. That's excellent. And now we're in for a very special treat. We're going to hear from Radhika and the cold brews that she has that are ideal for summer. And we're going to take more visuals of this space and take it in.
Remember that your gullet needs to feel it, go crazy making sounds, but because you need to feel the notes. You could still go stronger, and it's going to be a beautiful brew, and you'll feel it more in a warm note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I already have like podcast titles brewing in my mind because we talked about all the possibilities and spirituality. And this was so meaningful. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Radhika.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for coming. Thanks for listening to this episode of That's Total Mom Sense. You can listen to the audio version wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for That's Total Mom Sense. You can learn more about my guests by logging on to www.thatstotalmomsense.com. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, where I'm most active on social media. My handle is @Kanika Chadda Gupta. And if you have ideas for show topics or guests you can't wait to have on the show, write to me at thatstotalmomsense@gmail.com. And lastly, please rate, review, and subscribe to That's Total Mom Sense if you haven't already. Thanks for being in my tribe.